Actually, that's for testing whether you're still focused or not. And yeah, like you're still focused. Thank you. Applause for you guys. Yeah. Okay, so we are three musketeers. Yeah. Oh yeah. What are we gonna do now? We're talking about the AFNI. What is that? Stay tuned. Okay. So when we talk about fake news, we do believe that fake news brings us to a very dangerous, things like hatred, intolerance, misunderstanding, and any other negative things. And we do believe that we don't want that happen, right? You don't want that happen? Yes, okay. And, okay. Yeah. Another question is why we need to counter fake news. Okay, let's see. In the upcoming year, we're going to have like some election in some region and countries, and we believe that when the political things happen, there will be a lot of propaganda and fake news happen, and something bad news. And another problem is.
So the problem is when we have so many elections coming up. So the politicians or political parties or even political campaigns, they are most likely to generate a lot of fake news to either deceive the public or even to raise the hatred between one ethnic groups or religions to advance their political agendas. So, and it's most likely that they will be generating a stream of fake news that currently, the current technology could not help to debunk them one by one. So the problem is we need an automated fake news identifier to help debunk all these news that might actually harm the peace and harmony within the society. So, okay, our solution is AFNI, also known as the Automatic Fake News Identifier. So how does this work? Okay, so it's a web plugin, and whenever you browse a news web page, it would there's something on the upper right corner. You see the green thing, and then the bottom right corner, the red thing. So when it shows red color, it means that it's fake. Okay, and then while it shows yellow, it means that the algorithm is unable to determine whether it's a fake or real. While it shows green, when it shows green, so it's an authentic news. So, but how do we judge a news article according to and actually come up with the evaluation red, green, and yellow? So there are actually a few criteria. And the criteria, you see, and the verification results. How long does it take to verify, and then why is it an authentic news? So there are actually 4 criteria that helps us to classify whether this is authentic news or fake news. So first of all, images. Most fake news are actually recycling images from previous news articles and posting them as new ones or the current ones, trying to deceive the people into believing them as real. And so we technically, I'm not sure. So, but the idea is to automate the reverse Google search for those images found in news websites, and to check that if it appeared previously on other news websites. And then domain names is CNN.com, for example, CNN.com and CNN.com.co. So it's totally 2 different domain names, and those that are not technologically savvy, they would actually be deceived by these kinds of domain names. And our web plugin would actually help to identify and then rate them as fake news. Okay. And author, actually, if this web plugin actually goes big, we hope that actually we could collaborate with media enterprises or even credible organizations and check if and cross-check their employees database and correspondence database. If someone claims to be a Reuters reporter and the name does not shows up in the Reuters database, we would flag them as fake news. And lastly is text. So just as in majors, most fake news recycle text that exists previously from news that are outdated or maybe previous news a few years back. So we're planning on a plagiarism algorithm which runs exactly like Turnitin, most likely. And so you see that if the plagiarism exists more than like 50% a certain threshold, we would flag them as fake news. So because most likely they are going to recycle the text. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, and I'll pass it on to the next presenter to tell you how do we realize these solutions.
Okay, so the next thing we need to do to put our solution into action is because we trees are technical insufficient, so we need to hire coders or programmers to help us out to create our plugins to work. And then the second one is trying to collaborate and coordinate with media agency or credible organizations to help us to expand the capabilities of our plugins to reach more people, not for the money but for everybody. And we empowering you to, as a user, to try to verify and check the news by yourself. Don't believe anything unless you can prove it. Thank you.
Great! Wow! This is the last team. Great. Okay. Oh, still one? Oh, sorry. Still one? Come.